Hello and annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to World on My Plate with me, Chef Harsh. Today I'm going to be taking you on a trip to South Korea, where we're going to be having a traditional rice bowl that is called bibimbap. Now today I'm going to be doing a prawn variation on the bibimbap, and the first thing we need to do is get our prawns marinated. So for that, we're going to create a nice sauce to go with it. To make our marinade, first we're going to mix together some SRIRACHA sauce. Next, we're going to add some soy sauce, followed by a little bit of sugar. Now we're going to add a little bit of garlic. And finally, we're going to add the juice of half a lemon. Now we're just going to whisk this together to make sure that it's nicely mixed. So our marinade is fully ready now, and all we have to do is add our prawns. Now we're going to give this a good mix with our hands. Make sure that all the prawns are nicely covered in the marinade. So now we're going to put our prawns in the fridge until we're ready to cook them. Now we're going to make our bibimbap sauce. So for that, we're going to need spicy chili paste, followed by some rice vinegar, some soy sauce, about 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and finally we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Now we're just going to mix this all together and set it aside until we're ready to eat. So now that our bibimbap sauce is ready, we're going to set that aside and we're going to get to cooking our vegetables. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to saute off some of our carrots. So first we're going to get our pan on a high heat. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. Our oil is nice and hot now, so we're going to go ahead and add our carrots. Now we're just going to season this with a little bit of salt. We're just going to let these cook down for about a minute, minute and a half until they're nice and tender. Okay, our carrots are beautifully sauteed, and we're just going to remove them out into a separate plate now. Next, we're going to saute some zucchini. So again, in the same pan, we're going to add a little bit more oil, give it a quick swirl, and now we're going to go in with the zucchini. Again, we're going to season this with a little bit of salt. Okay, our zucchini is nice and tender now. We've got a little bit of browning on the edges, so we're going to remove that into a separate plate as well. Now we're going to move right along to our mushrooms. Same drill as before. Okay, we're going to use the same pan, heat up a little more oil. So all you have to do is give it a quick swirl and drop in our mushrooms. Give them a nice quick toss. And again, we're going to season with salt. So we're going to cook this down until most of that liquid is gone. Now we're just going to add a little bit of garlic. And again, give it a quick toss. Now, finally, we're going to cook our spinach. So same deal as before. So our spinach is done, and now we're going to remove that into a plate as well. Now that all the veggies are ready, it's time to cook our prawns. So again, using the same pan, we're going to heat up some oil. Now we're just going to place our prawns directly into the hot oil. Prawns cook extremely quickly, and you don't want to move them around in the pan a lot. Just leave them as they are for about 90 seconds, and then we're going to flip them and cook the other side as well. As you can see, they've turned nice and opaque, and in about a minute, our prawns should be ready to go. So all of our elements are almost ready. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our bibimbap sauce. So now we're gonna set this aside and I'm gonna cook one perfectly fried egg that's gonna sit right on top of this beautiful bowl. Finally, we're just gonna garnish this with some black sesame seeds. And there you go, guys, a beautiful prawn bibimbap ready to go. So here you have it, guys, Korea on my plate. This dish really takes me back to my travels to South Korea, where I actually went trekking up Mount Bukhansan with some friends of mine. And about halfway up the mountain, there was this tiny little shop that was selling the most amazing bibimbap and ramen. And I remember just having this delicious bowl of warmth when it was like about 4 or 5 degrees outside. And I just remember thinking, I can't wait to get home and make this for myself. So for more recipes like this, please follow and like Times Now Foodie on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.